come on up. 7.3, consideration of update on department progress on establishing administrative citations and collections processing for code enforcement violations. And we have Director Turner.
Maria Turner, Director for Community Development Department. We are very excited to bring this update to you, as it was the board's direction that we develop a system for administrative citations and fine processing. This is a time-intensive sort of process that takes a certain level of expertise that our current staff resources do not have. And so we were very happy to find Data Ticket, which is already working in Clear Lake to do the exact same job. And I have the Deputy Administrator, Shannon Walker-Smith, here to give you the details.
Good morning. So as you know, we have been working for quite some time to try to put a system in place to collect administrative penalties and fines. And as you know, code enforcement, has a lot of programs that they're trying to work through in Lake County: illegal dumping, public nuisances, cannabis, illegal cannabis cultivation, hazardous vegetation. And we really have a couple of different tools we can utilize. Abatements, of course, is one of those tools, which then we can convert into liens for cost recovery. But administrative citations is one of the tools we haven't really been utilizing because of the lack of resources to process those citations and do the collections for those in-house. So we have worked through all of the legalities of developing a contract with this third-party data collection service, Data Ticket. And the contract does not require board approval because it's a small contract. It's a fee-for-service. And so we pay as they collect on our fines that we send to them. They take their fees off the top, and so that is most of what gets paid. So they're doing basic collections. It's a fee-for-service. All of the hearings, there is more hearing processes that are involved if a resident wants to appeal a citation, and all of those processes will stay in-house with the board. The company does have the ability to adjudicate some of those hearings, but because of our ordinance and the way that it's currently written, all of those hearings will stay with the Board of Supervisors. And if collections are not made through their regular processes, then they also have the ability to work with us and attach these fines through the Franchise Tax Board, which is another way that we could ultimately potentially recover some of our costs for some of this work that we're doing out in the community. And we trying to hit kind of two goals with this, both becoming a division of the county that is more financially stable on its own, but also we're trying to look to make lasting changes in the county where we would hold property owners responsible for keeping their properties to a certain standard, and that there would be consequences if that was not the case through administrative citations. So we're excited, happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Great. This is exciting.
If I could
Supervisor
also
Cran.
just add, we wanted to express our appreciation for County Council. They have been very helpful in making sure that this agreement reflects the board's wishes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I really was excited to see this. I know that's in the Municipal Advisory Committee meetings, the town halls. Code enforcement will be present in explaining how this is going to be the inclusion that'll help hold our ordinances to effect once this is in place. And so to see it coming forward is really exciting for me. And I know for all of us, because this gives us, like you said, a chance to have lasting changes. And there's ordinances that cover this, but we're just kind of sitting like, how are we really going to get it? And I know that we'll get there. We're getting to that point where the rubber is starting to meet the road, and I appreciate the work you've put into it.
Supervisor Spatier.
So I really appreciate this being here as a presentation. It's not quite past the finish line yet, but Never been so far, and it's been a long time coming, so really appreciate this. One of the things that I'm hoping I can maybe get a consensus from the board is at one point in the near future, maybe around mid-year budget review or something like that, can we get a review of what the fines are, what that looks like, just to kind of re-review what because all of a sudden people are going to start seeing these fines. I think it would be good for us to review it. Is it too weak? Is it too strong? Is it just right? And at least making it very public about what those fines will look like. I'm hoping to see this in action within the next 3 to 6 months. I don't know if the tax intercept takes a little while to set all that up. I know it took a whole 3 to 6 months or something like that for the city of Clear Lake. But the fact is, this is how you hold people responsible to change their behavior. Paying for something that they would have already paid for is almost just taking their responsibility and taking that role for them. This is actually putting teeth onto the ordinances that we have. So very thankful that this is here. Let's push it across the finish line. And if that's possible to get consensus from the board.
Yes.
Okay. Supervisor Green?
Yeah, has this contract been executed yet?
Nope. I was waiting until you all received the update before I sign.
And that's what I thought as well. I didn't assume that this was past the finish line. I just know that we're getting there. You needed this. It will get there, and I would like to see, because you're thinking that if the fines aren't working, we would do something to work that administrative.
Just to re-review where we're at with fines.
With our ordinance, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, we'd be happy to return and do a review of what the fines are in the ordinance. And we have some work to do. We are planning to sign the agreement as long as there are no outstanding concerns by the board. And then we have some work to do to work through the processes with data ticket that will align with the ordinance. And all of those processes and forms and fines will get vetted through county council as well. And then we'll be happy to bring that back for review and update as well.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comment? Okay.
Just one last question.
Okay.
I know you were kind of relying on the board's willingness and the current ordinance that provides that the board will act as the hearing body for any appeals, but you did mention that they offer adjudication services here. Don't need to go into it today, but I'd be interested in seeing what the prices were on that. Just I have a sneaking suspicion we may want to take a look at that somewhere down the road. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
We'll see you back after lunch.
She's the 11
Yeah.
o'clock item.
Are you not go? Well, that's true.